Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It's me again, Chelsea, and today I am bringing you my November TBR. So I plan to be taking part in the Clearurshit readathon for the months of November and December. This readathon runs from the 1st of November to the 27th, I think, of December, and I will have the Twitter link down below in the description box for you. The really cool thing about this readathon is that you're giving a load of prompts with the idea of actually working through the books that you have currently got on your shelves. There is no need to buy anything, which I think is fantastic, and the idea is to just clear your TBR. And I really enjoyed taking part in this last year, and the other really cool thing about this readathon is that not only are there prompts already pre-planned for you to plan your TBRs or mood read around, there are also 2 free spaces and then 3 mystery prompts. So those mystery prompts will relate to your strength, weakness and weapon that you will choose. If you go to the Twitter, like I said, it's linked down below. There are graphics listed on the Twitter that give you choices for strength, weakness and weapon, and you can use those to essentially build your character for this readathon. And then later on throughout the readathon there will be mystery prompts revealed. So there's 2 mini boss battles and then the big boss battle, and those will relate to those choices that you made at the start of the readathon, which I think is really cool. And then you find a book as you go to fit those prompts. So there are 5 prompts that I've got on this list that I have got no ideas for. The rest of them I've probably got 1 or 2 choices because I feel like I need to just mood read a little bit more. I'm not very good at sticking to rigid schedules currently due to being all over the place with work and trying to like get back into being at my physical workplace rather than working from home. So I'm not reading as much physically, but I am actually picking up more audiobooks, which you'll see in my wrap up, which will come out I think next week from when you're seeing this. But yeah, let's just go through the prompts that I actually have some ideas about that are already released, and let's see what I plan to read in the months of November and December. So the first prompt is to read a book where someone dies, and for that I instantly think of Plain Bad Heroines by Emily M. Danforth, and I am yet to read this book. It's been sat on my shelves for a couple of months now. I have heard such great things. This is meant to be like feminist and sapphic and all those fun things, so I'm really looking forward to finally getting to it. The idea of this book is that it's set at Brooke Hunt's School for Girls, infamous site of a series of tragic deaths over 100 years ago, soon to be the subject of a controversial horror movie about the rumoured Brooke Hunt's curse. In the early 1900s, Brooke Hunt students Flo and Clara fell madly in love, brought together by their obsession for a scandalous memoir. A few months later, they were found dead in the woods after a horrific wasp attack, the book lying next to their intertwined bodies. 3 more grisly deaths followed before the school was forced to close. Now the school's doors are open once more, but as the crew of glamorous young actresses assemble to start filming, past and present begin to blur, and soon it's impossible to tell quite where the curse ends and Hollywood begins. So this sounds really good. I'm looking forward to reading it and seeing what I actually think of it, and yeah, I think it's going to be a really good read. And we're still in kind of spooky season in November. We're not yet in the festive season, so I think that'll be perfect to read within November. I don't have any other ideas for what I want to read for that prompt. There could be others. I don't really know much about a lot of my books before I go into them, so I'm yet to know about like whether someone dies straight away, like when I have that book in mind. So I might find something else in the month of November, I might not, I might read that, I don't know. But on to the next prompt. The next prompt is to read a book where the characters go on a journey, and for that I've got the vague idea to read this, which is The Black Hawks by David Ragg. This is about a group of mercenaries who essentially will do anything you want. So the back of this just says, with killers on your trail, you need killers watching your back. You need the Black Hawk Company, mercenaries, fighters without equal, a squabbling, scrapping pack of rogues. Prepare to join the Black Hawks. And I believe our main character has to escort a prince somewhere, so that's a journey. This is my idea for that prompt. I have got a couple of others in mind, I think like the Jasmine Throne, but I'm not 100% sure if that involves a journey yet. That's on my list. Got a couple more in the back of my mind. Maybe Siege and Storm by Lee Bardugo, but again, I don't know if that actually involves a journey. This one I definitely know it does, so this is definitely on my TBR idea list for the second prompt. So the third prompt is to read a book that has been recommended to you, and I have two choices for this. I have got the Bonus Mercies that was recommended to me by Abby of Pelennor. I'll link her channel down below. She gifted this very kindly for my birthday, so thank you very much, Abby. And also this, which is A Gathering of Shadows by V.E. Schwab, because I'm buddy reading this with my friend Kate, and she loves this series, which is why I'm actually reading it and have bought so heavily into it. So those are my two choices. This is a sequel to A Darker Shade of Magic, where we're following our two main characters that travel through the four Londons. There is Black, White, Red and Grey London, and they all have different aspects to them regarding to how magical they are, and I really enjoyed the world building of the first book, so I'm interested to see where they go in this. And this, I believe, is a Beowulf retelling, which I don't really know anything about. So it says, Frey, Ovi, Juniper and Runa are bonus mercies, death traders hired to kill quickly, quietly and mercifully. It is a job for women and women only. Men do not do this sad, dark work. Frey has no family, no home, no fortune, and yet her blood sings a song of glory. So when she hears of a monster slaughtering men, women and children in a northern Jarldom, she decides this is the mercies' one chance to change their fate, but glory comes at a price. So that actually sounds really cool. So those are two options for that prompt. The next prompt is to read a book that people talk about a lot, and these two, as far as I'm aware, are booktube favourites. And the first one is this one, which is Master of Sorrows, which I keep saying I'm going to read. I know that there are quite a few big booktubers that absolutely love this book, as well as many book reviewers in general. And this is about a magic academy, so dark academia vibes, but magic is banned. And our main character has always wanted to join the ranks of the people that go out and collect all of these forbidden magical objects, so I'm very interested to find out about this one. And then my other choice is Daughter of Smoke and Bone, which a lot of people also talk about this so much that it's obviously got a special edition from Illumicrate. I'm really looking forward to this one. We're following a girl who lives half in the real world and half in like the demon world, and she collects teeth for a demon, and I'm really interested in what actually goes down in this series because I've heard so much about it and I just don't know anything. And the other thing is both of these books feature on my 21 books to read in 2021, and I'm really behind in that list, so I'm going to try and smash out as much of that as I can throughout November and December. But I'm not too sure how well that's going to go. So like I said, try and keep up with my vlogs to see how well that goes. And then in December or January, probably more likely January, I will do a wrap up of how well I did on my 21 books in 2021. And I will probably aim to do a lot better on my 22 books to read in 2022. The next prompt is to read your shortest book, and I believe the shortest book on my shelves that I don't need to read anything else beforehand is Stardust by Neil Gaiman. This is not many pages if I think about it. Oh, it doesn't actually say. Not annoying. 196 pages including the acknowledgements, I believe. So maybe just over 200 pages with the additional content in the back. This is one of my all-time favourite films. I love this film. I think it's so good. I love it. I watch it all the time. It's my ultimate comfort movie, so hopefully I enjoy the book just as much. I think I tried to read this for a similar sort of prompt last year but never got around to it, which sucks. But I'm hoping to hopefully get around to it this year and actually read this. I really want to up my game reading the Neil Gaiman books. I've got a collection of them on my shelves that is slowly growing. I love his writing. I loved American Gods. I love Neverwhere. I just want to experience more Gaiman. So hopefully I finally get to this in November or December. I do have another option for that prompt as well, which is called Extraordinary, which is a new graphic novel that V.E. Schwab has just released, and I'm not too sure actually when that's arriving, so I'm kind of putting that on the back burner. But if I need a graphic novel to complete any of these prompts, I will definitely try and incorporate that within my reading over the next couple of months. The next prompt is to steal a book from someone's TBR. Now I am filming this before anyone's TBR games have come out because I'm trying to be productive today and I'm trying to be ahead of the game because this needs to go up next Wednesday and no one has released their TBRs for October, so you'll have to keep up on my vlogs to see what book I decide to actually choose for this prompt. And yeah, that's just a shameless self promo there. Watch my vlogs so that you can see what comes up for this prompt, because I'm not guessing what people are going to be reading. Hopefully people are going to be reading something I own, because I don't really want to be buying any more books yet. We'll see. The next prompt is to read a book that features either gold, silver or bronze on the cover, and this is a book that I think is on my 21 in 2021. But it's one that's been on my TBR for ages, and that is King of Scars. It's completely gold, so it completely fulfills this prompt, and I believe we're following Prince King Nikolai in this, and Zoya and Nina. Yeah, so I'm really interested to see some backstory on Nina, and I think people have kind of like a mixed review opinion on this book, which I can understand with a lot of Leigh Bardugo's work, to be fair, but I have also got Rule of Wolves on my shelves and I really want to get to that, and I really want to complete this duology so I can just tick it off my list for 2021 or maybe the start of 22. And I really want to read more about the Grisha series. I have read the first book, Shadow and Bone, this year in, you know, anticipation of the TV show, which I'm yet to actually watch, and I also haven't finished that trilogy yet. So there's a lot going on that I just need to catch up on. So hopefully this will be a good start for me to catch up on. The next prompt is to read your smallest book. Now this doesn't have to be the shortest book. This can be in size, weight, length, whatever you want. And one of my ideas is to actually read this, which is The Wolf and the Woodsman by Ava Reid, which was in one of my subscription boxes this year, and it's like the smaller format of book. See? So I'm making this count. I've got a couple of books that can fit this prompt, but I'm not too sure what I want to pick just yet, but this is definitely on a placeholder. I don't know a lot about this. All I know is that it is stunning. This is like a dark, evocative and unforgettable fantasy debut steeped in Hungarian history and Jewish mythology, perfect for fans of Naomi Novik and Catherine Arden. I'm yet to finish a book by Naomi Novik and I haven't read any Catherine Arden, but this does sound quite cool. And there's quite a few people that I enjoy reading who have blurbed it on the back, including Samantha Shannon and S.A. Chakraborty. So hopefully I like it. We'll see. But again, this is just a placeholder. I'm not 100% sure if I'm actually going to choose this book out of all of the small books that I own, but it's a good starting point. The next prompt is to read a spooky book, and for this I have got the idea of hopefully reading The Kingdom of the Cursed, because I am reading the first book currently as I'm filming this and I'm really enjoying it, and I have got the Fairy Loot edition coming at some point, but I believe that's not shipping until November, so it might be a December read. I'm not too sure as of yet, but I also have The Ghost Tree by Christina Henry on that idea list as well, because this is about a death. I think one of them dies. So Lauren and Miranda have been best friends forever. Every day one would say, "Meet me by the old ghost tree," and they would go and have adventures. But now Miranda only likes boys, and Lauren's father was found in the woods with his heart torn out, and no one was ever caught. A year later, the bodies of two girls are discovered. Lauren has a vision of a monster dragging human remains through the woods, and she knows she can't keep doing nothing, not like the rest of her town. The foundation of her seemingly normal home is rotten to the centre, and if nobody else stands for the missing, she will. So I'm really interested in like what this book is about, because the last book that I read by Christina Henry, which was Near the Bone, was a bit paranormal in the way it ended, and I really enjoyed the ending. I really liked that book because there was a lot of psychological stuff in that book, but I'm interested to see what is doing these murders in this book, because she does have a habit of linking real life things like murder and abuse and that kind of thing, and then kind of linking it to some sort of paranormal cause. So I'm interested to see what is behind this book. The next prompt is to read a book that features an animal, and this isn't specific as to where it needs to feature an animal. Could be in the book, could be on the cover, could be in the title, a range of things. So I've got 2 choices for this currently, and the first is God's Grave by J. Kristoff, because I need to finish this series. I am really looking forward to actually finding more out about this series. I really enjoyed Nevernight. I'd love to know more, and this obviously has 1, a bear on the cover, and 2, features Mr. Kindly, who is a ghost cat, but he is in the shape of a cat, so I believe that counts. And then the second choice is The Raven Boys, which features ravens in the title, and if there are any other animals within this book, I don't know, because I'm not sure. So I would like to give this series a try. I believe I bought this for like £2, which is why I bought it, because I'm not too sure if I'm going to enjoy this. It is YA. Something about our main character is told that if she ever kisses her true love, he'll die. So she stays away from boys and then meets some boys from a private school, and then it's the year that Blue will discover that magic does exist. My descriptions of these books is awful, so take it with a pinch of salt, but this does actually sound kind of intriguing. I like the idea that she knows that if she ever kisses her true love, they'll die, and I'm really interested to see who her true love is and what situation she's put in to discover all these things. So this is another option for that prompt. This next prompt is super open, and I believe you can actually double up on prompts, so I might be doubling up on this one further down the line, but it is just to read a fantasy book, and I've got Jade City by Fonda Lee to read for that prompt because I have bought the special editions from Illumicrate. Yes, indeed I did, because they are beautiful and I really want to just own these beautiful copies. So I'm going to try and give this one a read as well, just to make sure I definitely like the books. But I'm sure I will. They sound really up my street. Shanghai gangsters, that kind of thing. Sounds fantastic. Really love the idea of this, and I'm really looking forward to reading about it and knowing more, because I believe jade is the lifeblood of the city of Janloon, a stone that enhances a warrior's natural strength and speed. It is mined, traded, stolen and killed for, all controlled by 2 families equal in their power and ruthlessness. When a modern drug emerges that allows anyone, even foreigners, to wield jade, simmering tension between the 2 clans erupts into open war. Sounds like everything I wanted from these violent delights that I didn't necessarily get, but with a lot less romance. Sounds up my street. Another very, very open prompt is to read a book with purple on the cover, and for that I have chosen possibly Defy the Night by Bridget Kemmerer. This is her brand new book, her brand new series, nothing to do with the Cursebreakers, but as I've said before, she is coming out with another series that is Cursebreakers but in 5 years time, and that sounds really good. But this is her new one, which is about a young girl who is trying to bring down the city or the town or the world in which she lives. The blurb for this is, from New York Times bestselling author Bridget Kemmerer comes a brand new blockbuster fantasy series about a kingdom divided by corruption, the prince desperately holding it all together, and the girl ready to bring it all crashing down. It sounds really good. So this is one choice for purple on the cover, because there is purple on the cover. Another choice is Extraordinary, because I believe the edition I've got has got purple on the cover, but I could be wrong, so that is again another one that could change, but I'm not too sure. And I have got 1 or 2 other books within this stack that do have purple on them, which could also tie into this prompt should I need to double up. The next prompt is to read a book that features either a female or a non-binary character as the main character, and my top priority I think-ish for this prompt is Bonecry's Dawn, because, or Bonecry's Moon, depending on if I want to restart this series, which I've said before I might do, because it follows 2 females, Sabine and Elise, and in the first book we have Sabine, who doesn't really want to be a bone crier, she's not 100% sure, but Elise knows it's what she wants to do, what she's always wanted to do, and she's in training to take over their, I think it's a coven, I'm not too sure, but she's in training to do that. And then when Elise goes to essentially meet her true love, something goes wrong and she ends up being kidnapped. So Sabine has to try and find her, and I've really enjoyed the first book, so I might go back and reread that, and if I don't, then I will read the sequel, or maybe both, I'm not too sure, but that's an idea. I also have the idea to read Furyborn, which I'm not getting out right now because it's underneath a load of things that I just can't be bothered to move. So that's another choice. The Genevieve Deception is also another choice. That is a female main character. I've got quite a few choices for that prompt, but we shall see what I actually decide to read. Another very open prompt, which I am loving at the minute, and that is to read an intimidating book for whatever reason, be it the conclusion of a series, it's massive, it's overhyped, all that fun stuff. My first choice is The Octonami, and I think I'm saying that right, which is like a magical book, but I'm not 100% sure what it's actually about. But there was a lot of hype around it, so I bought it, and I'm still yet to read it. I'm actually still yet to open it, so hopefully a vlog for that is coming soon, which is why it's being featured on here. And then another option would be Black Prism by Brent Weeks, and I was sent this very kindly by someone called Noelle because she was watching my videos, and if you still watch them, Noelle, then thank you again, once again, for sending me this book. I am planning to read it very soon, but this is quite a chunky book. It is a little bit intimidating, and it's meant to be epic high fantasy, which is another reason it could be intimidating for me as a person, although I do love epic high fantasies. So in this world, I believe you can wield, is it light or colour? I don't know. I'm going to read the back. Gil is the Prism, the most powerful man in the world. He is High Priest and Emperor, a man whose power, wit and charm are all that preserves a tenuous peace. Yet prisms never last, and Gal knows exactly how long he has left to live. When Gal discovers he has a son born in a far kingdom after the war that put him in power, he must decide how much he's willing to pay to protect a secret that could tear his world apart. Sounds really good. And I believe it's something about you wield light, and if you can wield more light, that's how you become the prism. But for using more light, the less time you have left to live. I think that's how it works, but I'm yet to read it, so I don't know. But I think this would be quite good. It is very intimidating, but I think it'd be very good. So the next prompt is to read a book where you've either forgotten that you owned it or you've forgotten what it actually is about. And for that, I'm going to read possibly Fire with Fire. It's on my shelf somewhere, but I don't want to dig it out. Or The Octonami is another one that could fit that prompt very, very well because, again, I don't know what that's about either, which is brilliant. So those are two choices. I believe Fire with Fire is about two girls who kill dragons, which makes me sad because I don't want to kill dragons, but one changes their mind, I think. I'm not too sure, so that's why that's on there. And then, yeah, Octonami, I'm really not sure what it's about. That was definitely a Bookstagram, Booktube made me buy it kind of thing. So hopefully it's good. I definitely know it's pretty. That's the main thing. The next prompt is to read a book with water themes, and for that I've chosen Namesake by Adrian Young. This is the sequel to Fable, and in Fable, our main character, Fable, is determined to earn enough money to be able to jump on a ship and go back and find her father, who is like the leader of some massive pirate thing. And obviously she travels on a ship, and I believe there's going to be ships in here somewhere, so water themed. There's also watery themes on the actual cover, which is pretty cool. So I think this is perfect for this prompt, and it's nice and small, which is equally a bonus. The next prompt, I'm not 100% sure what book I'm going to choose for this, and it is to read a book with a group cast, so 3 or more characters. I think I'm just going to read some books and see if one of them fits that prompt, really, because I don't want to go flicking through books to see if they've got multiple people and possibly spoil myself on what I'm reading. I mean, a possible is The Chosen Ones, possible is any of the books in this series, and other than that I'm not too sure. So if you've got any suggestions on any of the prompts I'm going through and going, oh, I'm not really sure, please leave them down below in the comments, because I could really use some help, especially with the group cast one, because the only one I can think of is like Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom, and I've read both of those. I need something else, so if you've got any suggestions, let me know down below. And then the final solid prompt that we know of is to read a book with an opulent cover. So of course I've chosen this edition of Witches Steeped in Gold. It is stunning. All of this foiling goes all the way around, and it's also on the hardcover, and there's these amazing sprayed edges as well. Very opulent indeed. So this is definitely my choice for that, and I believe this is 2 witches who have to form an alliance or something. Oh, I'm awful at this. Essentially, the bottom of it just says, Sworn enemies, the two witches enter a deadly alliance to take down the woman who threatens both their worlds, but revenge is a bloody pursuit and nothing is certain except the lengths Iria and Jasmine will go to win this game. A fierce and thrilling story where dangerous magic reigns supreme and betrayal lurks beneath every word. Sounds really good. And also kind of spooky. And I'm still in the spooky mood, to be fair. Really enjoying the spooky thing. Like I said, there are 5 spaces that I'm yet to fill at all. 2 free spaces and 3 mystery prompts. So hopefully I'll be fine. We'll see. Keep an eye on my reading vlogs to see how I get on with this readathon. I'm really looking forward to it. I looked forward to it last year. I think it's a really good time. I would love to hold up this stack for you and show you how big it is, but they are 2 very big stacks of books. At least this big. Oh wow, not even. At least this big. Both of them, which is a little bit bonkers if I'm completely honest, that I want to read. And if you saw my TBRs for last year, I'll link them up here, or I'll link the first one up here. I'm pretty sure the thumbnail for that is just these books just stacked up on my desk that I used to film at, but unfortunately I don't have that space anymore, so I can't do that. But yeah, that is everything for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. It really supports me and my channel. Leave me a comment down below what you're planning to read in the month of November. Do you want to take part in Clear Your Shit? Let me know. And if you don't want to have a chat and you just want to leave an emoji, leave me any wintry emojis, because we're getting into the wintry season in November, especially here in the UK. So yeah, leave me any wintry emojis. And if you want to see more of me, see my vlogs, see how much of these I plan to read, or well, no, I plan to read all of them. See how many I actually do read. Please consider subscribing to me down below and ringing that notification bell so you get notified every single time I upload new videos. I currently upload on a Wednesday and on a Sunday, so be sure to stick around for more bookish content from me. But otherwise, that is everything for today's video. I hope you're having an amazing day, and I'll see you soon in the next video. Bye.